Hello? Welcome back, folks. So, apparently, a few of you didn't like my last project. The Halloween one. I mean, it was only supposed to be a little Halloween project. I wasn't taking it that seriously. I mean, it wasn't going to end up in an art gallery. It was just a bit of fun. I'm really sorry. Hello? Who is it? The British Art Museum in London. You'd like to display my Halloween project in the museum? Of course. No problem. So I got this in the post the other day. Look at it. That's really weird. I think it spins. No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does. These bits spin around. Huh? TM. I think it was given to me for the chess project that I'm working on, just in case we kind of need a few spare pieces. But this is really cool. This came down from Tom Mackison. Hey, thanks for sending this in, Tom. Unfortunately, all the pieces now have been complete. Yay! Yeah! So I will be showing that to you soon if I haven't done already. So this will take pride and place in my shop somewhere nice. And I got this one in as well. Really cool. This was from Dog's Days Workshop. Stephen. Steve! Cheers for sending this in, Stephen. Again, apologise, it's not going to go on the board because we are maxed out now. Talking to myself. But I will definitely display this in my shop for you. Thanks, buddy. It might not actually stay there, it'll probably go somewhere else. Maybe in my new shop somewhere. The new shop is coming on really well. I haven't updated you guys on it, but I will show you once it's kind of all done. But it's a little bit bigger than this one. Give me a little bit more room to play around with some new toys that I'd like to get. I want to get into kind of doing some tables. So, might only do a couple, but I kind of just got this. I've seen loads of people do tables, make these tables out of big slabs. I really want to kind of do a table and see what it turns out, make it really funky. So today, what I thought I would do is literally just make a simple, and I mean simple, box. Cardboard box. Kind of a little jewellery box. Now, I'm no professional, but I thought I would just basically show you the basics of what I've learned of how to make a simple box. That's it. Nothing too fancy or funky, unfortunately, today. And I want to mix up things, I want to do all sorts of different things. But I've had quite a few messages and emails, and I want to kind of try to cater for as many people as I can. And there has been a few calls for kind of just doing something simple, just to kind of show you the ropes. If you want to get into making stuff. This will be a short video. I promise. And I hope this helps get some of you into making a little pot. You can maybe make a little pot for your mum or your dad or your friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, lover. Or just make it for yourself. Just to say, hey, I made that. And it's pretty funky. So, without further ado, let's make this simple box. So, first of all, we need to pick a piece of wood. Okay, right, this is my little kind of wood store. I've got a bigger one in my old shed, actually, but this is kind of like just general bits and pieces that I kind of use every now and again. So I've got all sorts of stuff in here, bits and pieces that I've turned and bits and pieces that I did. I don't know if you remember this project. This was quite cool. I haven't turned that yet. That was like mixed up resin with actually bits of wood in it, like chippings. We'll have to do see if we can make something from that one day. Anyway, trying to keep this simple. Right, here we go. Look at this. There we go. Nice little square blank of wood. This should do just the trick. Okay, so this is quite a large piece. So what we're going to do is we could make 2 boxes from this if we really wanted to. However, cutting that in half might mean they're going to be pretty small boxes. Okay, so next up, what we need to do is we're going to mark our centre. So for this, we're going to need our centre finder thingy-bobby. That is actually what it's called. Well, in my shop. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to just place this on here. You've seen me do this millions of times. We're just going to mark this up. Rather than just doing 2 corners, I'm going to do all 4 because there's a good chance that this isn't exactly square. And you'll see what I mean there, see? So that is our centre right there. there on the stair. So we're going to do the same this side. And as you can see there, it's not square. So that's why we've done it both all angles. So we now got our centre, which is right there. So for this, I've got myself one of these little badgers. And that's right, it is called a badger. I got this from Robert Sorby, actually. It's actually called a steb centre, a stumpy one. So we're going to pop this in here. And this is me Easy Wood Tools quick release chuck. Absolutely awesome bit of kit this is. You can just pop these out using this little tool. You just pop it in there and they go bang, 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 and you can just change the jaws. Happy days. Right, we're tightening that up. Really nice. We make sure we're tightening up all of these holes. There's only two, but is there two? Yeah, there's two. But there's two there for a reason. They both need tightening up. So there we go. And then we're going to bring the tailstock up. And then we're going to find our centre, which is about there. And about there. Lock this down, tighten this up. And we just want to just spin this just to see if it's looks fairly level, it looks fairly good. There we go, so that's all good. So we're going to bring this up, get this ready, make sure it's away from the chuck. And about there, we probably want it a bit closer. About there, that will be just nice. Right, okay, so now what we need to do is just rough this out into a nice cylinder. We can do that with either our roughing gouge, this little badger, or you can use carbide tools, but we use this for this purpose. Okay, so we've now rounded this off. Nice little cylinder this is. Actually, a really lovely bit of wood this is. Look at the grain in this. Really, really nice. So maybe it will be a bit funky after all. So as you saw me earlier on, I was just touching the top while it was spinning. That kind of just tells me whether or not it's fully round or not. If it starts to jump around, then it's not fully round. So fairly straightforward. So I've made this into a nice cylinder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a tenon on here, because we want to try and get this in the chuck as soon as we can, because it's just much safer clamped in these jaws. And then also we can just release this off later on when we want to finish off the end. Okay, so it's now inside the chuck, nice and safe. All we need to do now is going to mark out where we want to take the lid off. Now there are several ways that you can do lids, you know, but what I'm going to try and do for you today is something sort of fairly simple if I can. And again, there are various different ways to do these. So I'm just going to mark off now where we roughly want the lid. So I reckon probably about here-ish, and we use a pencil. We'll just mark this up. I reckon that'll be about right, I think. Okay, so I've marked off where the lid is going to come off, but what you can do is you can put another tenon on here, flip this over into the chuck, and then you can kind of hog out your lid that way. But what I'm going to do this one is I'm not going to do that. I'm going to now finish the lid on this side because we've just put in a tenon inside there, and that tenon is going to sit inside the lid. For this, I'm going to use my miniature Easy Wood Tools carbide. What we're going to do is just going to put some sand and sealer on it. So you want a couple of coats of sand and sealer whilst the lathe is stopped, just to rub it all in. Yorkshire grit. Going to pop a little bit of this on there and smear that in whilst the lathe is off. A nice healthy dollop. and then we'll fire this up on a slow speed just to sort of like get this in as well. This will be nice. Okay, there we go. So I just sanded that off in the sander, so that is now ready to insert into our box. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that that fits inside. So now, how I do this is you can measure this up. So you can use one of these little contraptions, digital caliper, and then you can measure the size of that like that, and then you know, so you can mark it up with a pencil just to get an eye. So you just eye it up here. It's roughly about there. So that's going to be about there. So now we're going to take small cuts out of this, very small, and we're going to take our time because we want this to fit in here perfectly. Okay, so now our lid fits our box, and then that sort of fits on fairly well. It's fairly snug. You don't want it to come off really. So what I'm going to do now is going to shape this off so it matches the lid. Okay, so we're almost done with this little baby jewellery box pot.
Just going to part this off now, and that's it.
All I'm going to do now is just sand off the bottom in the sander, and then we've done our box. A little box. So there we go, a little box for you, and again it's just a simple box. Various ways to do this. I kind of just had so many requests for kind of just doing something simple, just a nice simple box. Show us how to do a simple box, Nick, that'd be really cool. And I've had loads of messages like that over the kind of like months and years really. I just thought I'd get this video up for you really. So it's a simple box, simple bit of wood, and again I've done it this way, so you got the inside there, and yeah, you can finish it off how you want. I didn't spend too much time on finishing it off. Got a bit burnt there, but you can avoid that obviously by kind of coming in a little bit wider. But I burnt it there, and you know, you can sand that off anyway if you want, but it fits fairly well. It fits quite nicely on the grain as well, so just you line up the grain wherever that is, which is there, and then it fits quite nice and snug. You can put your emblem in the bottom. I probably do that off camera, but if you want to put your emblem, you can burn it in, or you can get little emblems made up. Again, I get lots of questions about that, and all I've done there is I've gone to an engineering company and asked them if they can make little brass discs. Give them your logo and then go, here you go, this is my logo, can you make little tiny discs for me? And they should be able to do it really. So it's an engineering company. There's loads of them out there. So I'll put that on the bottom after off camera, but there we go. I hope you like it. Fairly simple. Hopefully it was a quick video. Again, give it a shot. Go and try making a little box. Send me some pictures of it. Either email them to me. I love to see you folks making some stuff. And it's pretty cool. It's a cool little present, isn't it? You could make that, give that to somebody. You know, it's a little jewellery box. God, it's it's quite stiff now. You know, you can put the little rings in it or something, or, you know, earrings or whatever, really. So it'd be quite nice, really. Quite a nice little gift. Christmas gift. Well, I hope some of you liked that video. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I had to do it. I'll leave stills up at the end. Thanks very much for joining me and watching my videos. Take care, and I definitely will have something funky for you next week. Stay tuned!